Welcome back. It's that day of the week again when we explore and appreciate green ideas and inventions. This is Going Green. The Energy Department projects that by 2013, up to 40% of the country's energy requirements will be supplied by renewable energy. It's cleaner, it's safer, and it's greener. But is it even possible? We'll tell you more about the innovative ways to tackle the environmental challenges we face today. This means relying on Mother Nature's best, the sun, the wind, water, and earth. So next, some of the country's green pioneers will gather at the second Energy Efficiency Conference to come up with eco-solutions to climate change and the energy crisis. Now, to tell us more about this are Mr. Hubert de Bouville and Henry Schumacher from the European Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines, Mr. Philip Revillac of Schneider Electric, and Kathy Tardio of Philips Electronics and Lighting. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
It's quite a number of things that we're going to be talking about today. Perhaps we should start with an overview of this energy efficiency conference or forum. Mr. de Bouville?
Yes, good morning to you. Actually, we started it more than exactly a year ago today. For those who recall, on the 14th of July 2010, we were all at the Sofitel Hotel for the first of this Energy Efficiency Forum.
Right.
So on the 19th, Tuesday next week, we will have the second one at the Mall of Asia. Last year we had about 400 people. This year, my bet is 500 to 1,000. So
I know people are saying it was a smashing success, really, last year, that this year it was really worth repeating. And
it is indeed. And this is, you know, when you go into renewable energy, it's not one-shot deal. I mean, you have to look, you have to have a program, you have to go for the years to come. Okay. So our project, this is one of the major projects of the ECCP, European Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines, and it will be a yearly event, indeed.
Well, I wanted to ask Mr. Schumacher, what is the great interest of the European Chamber in organizing something like this type of forum?
Well, I think energy efficiency, everybody talks about it. I think it's a global issue. In the Philippines, we don't have enough energy.
True.
And it's too expensive. And I think the cheapest way in moving forward is not to use it, or use it more effectively.
True.
And I think that's really the theme, bringing together government and the private sector, bringing people who can finance it, and people who are saying, what can I do? Because the biggest question always is, yeah, I agree with this, but what can I do? And that's what we are going to deliver, what we delivered in the first, and now in this one we are going to be more specific in what can be done.
All right, on the idea of what can we do, what can we be using in terms of actual concrete products, you've partnered with two great companies here. We've got Schneider Electric and we've got Philips, and they're going to be showing us some technologies that really people can look towards being a little more energy efficient.
I think before we go into the detail, you have to mention that IFC from the World Bank Group is our partner, official partner, and we have also major partners. We have Schneider Electric, indeed, that you just presented, Philips, indeed. We have also Shell, we have also Meralco, we have also First Gen. These are the major partner of this event.
All right.
So now we go with the meat of the project.
Let's see
how do we do it?
What sort of technologies can people be looking at in terms of being a little more energy efficient and just generally harnessing what power there is out there that's probably free at this stage?
This is one of the system lighting for Schneider Electric. It's really what I call a green product.
Okay.
What means green product? There is three elements for this system lighting. One, it's the light itself with LEDs. There is a photovoltaic panel, and there is a charger with a battery. The system is very easy.
So this is a system in itself. I mean, you've got the solar panel. You've got the energy being stored in the battery, and the lighting system itself in LED.
Exactly. We are converting the sunshine into energy. We are charging this battery and lighting this light.
All right.
When there is no more sunshine, you can light through the battery or through the power grid. There is two possibilities. The autonomy, it's around 8 to 15 hours, so it's quite enough for a complete night, let's say. And this lamp, it's enough for 10 square meter room. If you have a bigger room, of course, you can put. Easy to install. You put this part on the roof or exposed to the sunshine. Just a cable to the lamp, another one to the battery and the chargers. Everything is provided. Easy to install, secured, low voltage.
But is
No
it low?
problem.
But is it low cost? I mean, in the past, I mean, this system has been around for a while, and it has become more and more efficient. But cost has always been an issue, and how when we talk about being efficient, we're also talking about being efficient in terms of the cost.
Of course.
What sort of costs are involved?
Of course. So, in fact, this kind of lighting, it's the equivalent of a bulb, of a lamp of 60 watts.
Okay.
So, if we have to compare the cost, let's compare with how much would consume a lamp of 60 watts. What
Okay.
would be the electric bill? This product, it's the top one because there is the charger, there is the battery, there is photovoltaic panel, there is the lamp, there is different models, lower one. We start at 1,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos, you can have such kind of lamp in your home. And this is something really accessible. When you realize what kind of saving
Yeah.
you can do lighting your home with such kind of system, it's economic solution.
Sold. I'm going to take this one.
What is the ROI? In how many months?
Yeah, I
the
mean,
payback is how many months? That's
I mean,
interesting.
business. I mean, in terms of a business.
So
Tell me.
the ROI is really interesting because this lamp can light for 50,000 hours.
Okay.
50,000 hours. So electric consumption is what, 12 pesos per kilowatt, approximately. So around 1 to 2 months, you will have, for the small models, the model of 1,000 pesos, you will have the return on investment.
There you go. So that's one interesting solution right there. I mean, when you talk about talking about solutions, we've also got another one of your partners here with us, Philips, and
Hi,
they've got some great products here. What are we talking about today, Tina?
Well, Paolo, what we have here is basically all the LED products that Philips has. These are the latest actually in LED. What we have here for this part are the LED lamps or retrofits, what you call them. It's like an easy upgrade.
Okay.
When you have a current installation, for example, this one, if you will allow me to light it up.
Yeah, please do.
Well, so you will see it's quite bright. So these are some of our products that actually, when you have a halogen, then you can replace this.
I've done this. I have this particular model. I went from halogen pin lights in my kitchen, which were terribly hot, not very energy efficient, and I had to replace the bulbs constantly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've got this bulb here from Philips actually in my kitchen now. Excellent product.
That's very nice. Thank you very much. Well, that's a good point because this one, I think what you have, let's say before was like a 50 watts. What we have here is a 4 watts, and this one is 7. So you can actually convert like around 43 watts of, let's say, energy savings.
Yeah. You don't have to be a math genius to see that there is a saving to be had. I mean, when you compare costs, it does cost a little more to invest.
Well,
up
if you would
front.
talk about cost, I mean, for example, right, we started with, say, what, CFL, right? It was like years before, it was like around 900 pesos, I
Right,
think.
right.
It was, I think, not during my time yet, so I wasn't born that time yet, but you know. But then now, right now, it was like, how much? Like 100?
Okay.
So if you would see, actually, like eventually, there will be economies of scale. So there will eventually be, let's say, a greater demand, considering the awareness as well, with the ECCP around, creating that awareness of about energy efficiency, and definitely the cost will be down. However, actually, when you talk about LED, there are certain applications that it can be actually used. Before, it was just more for, let's say, facade or some accent lighting.
Right.
But now you can actually use it for some general lighting. We have some products here, if you would allow me.
Yeah, let's look at all of them.
Can I just turn this off?
Yep.
Okay. So this one, so just be careful because it's a bit bright. These are not fluorescent. These are actually tubular LEDs. So these are LEDs already.
Right there,
Right.
that's excellent. Okay.
Yeah, so this one, if you would see in your offices or even in your homes, you have a 36 watts, right? If it's like an installed and say electromagnetic solution, it's around 40 watts consumption, assuming. This one is 22 watts. You have a 45% savings. So imagine that actually, no? And then what you have here are the downlights. These are actually meant for offices, more for buildings. So if you have that, and we have actually controls as well. So if you want to just dim it, you can do that.
Okay, I want to try that.
Yeah,
I want
please
to try
do.
that.
Please do.
All right.
See, you can see that it can
Interesting.
be
Look
dimmed.
at that.
And that can be actually converted also to energy savings.
Okay, so if you need a bright light, obviously you run them at full power, and if you need something a little dimmer, then you just go ahead and dim them.
Yeah, and it's actually very good for a user basic list such as yours. One thing though that I might want to add is that in an industry, you know, like in an lighting industry, by 2015, it is assumed that around 50% of traditional lighting will be converted to LED. And actually in 2020, 75% will be converted to LED. Now, I don't know if you are quite familiar, but 19% of the global energy is actually consumed by lighting. So if you actually can conserve or cut down your cost or energy in lighting, you can actually have, let's say, a very tremendous effect in terms of energy savings.
It's something that we should all really be looking at. An excellent place to start really is this conference, this forum, isn't it?
If I may follow up with this, just try to imagine. Today in the Philippines, we are consuming more or less 8 gigawatt. Okay? We are talking here of saving 10, 20, 30%. Let's be very, very prudent and let's say we will save 10%. 10% of 8 gigawatt is 800 megawatt. This is 3 power plants.
Okay.
This is meaning to say $1 billion, meaning 45 billion pesos that we would not spend to build 3 big power plant that brings pollution, that brings dollar out of the country, and so on and so forth. Can you imagine the chain reaction here just by saving 10%, which is so easy to attain?
It's really just sort of changing your point of view and changing your consciousness.
That's right.
I wanted to ask Mr. Schumacher, who can attend the conference? Can anybody walk in? Can anybody register? How does one take part?
Well, everybody is welcome to join. I think it would be good to contact our office and register. But yeah, everybody can join.
Is it still open at this point? I know you're expecting quite a number of people.
It's still open, and I think it's a very exciting meeting. And I think we really try to get the message across, not about the planet. We are talking about I can save.
Right.
And I think that's the message. And that goes to transport, that goes to building owners, that goes to condo owners, that goes to house owners, that goes to basically government also. Because in the end of the day, we need a carrot and stick policy.
Right.
Because he talks about savings all the time, but we need people also to convert that, understand that, and invest.
True.
And we bring the investor, we bring the companies there that will make money available. So I don't have money is not an answer.
Well, it looks like everything will come together at this conference, and it's exciting stuff. But that's not the only exciting thing happening. Mr. Diabloville actually has a little bit of additional exciting news.
Yeah, we talked before.
Right. What do you have
and
for
I told you we have a scoop. Okay, we have a scoop because nobody will know that yet in the Philippines. The first day I'm allowed to talk about it is today.
Okay.
So thank you to ANC to talk about it now, to let me talk about it. There is a ship, a big catamaran, 30 meter long. This catamaran is going all around the world. Of course, it follows the equator because this is where we have the best power. And of course, it's coming to the Philippines because Sun Power is the one that has sponsored and that supply all the panel, right? And you might know that Sun Power is part of the Total Petroleum Group, so which has invested actually €1 billion into Sun Power, and which has the goal now to go into developing the R&D tremendously, because of course huge amount of money has to be put into R&D so that in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, the efficiency will be even so much greater. You know? So this boat is going around the world, it's already halfway, and it's coming to the Philippines. By the end of the month, we'll have the pleasure to see this boat here in Manila.
Well, I hope I have the pleasure of seeing the boat with you guys. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that bit of news with us, and thank you for sharing all that information on the upcoming Energy Efficiency Conference. We look forward to inviting everybody to join, really.
Please join us.
Good stuff. Thank you so much. All right. Everybody, do you have the next great green idea, or do you have any out-of-this-world plan to save the planet? Let us know and tell us what you're doing to help save the environment. Send in your pictures and thoughts to ancgoinggreen@gmail.com and get a chance to be featured right here, where we are going.